Hello everybody, I know this is another dark video. I am actually about to rest for quite a while. I've been on the phone making a whole bunch of phone calls and Google searching and stuff. I ended up calling, first it started with a search for baby fats customer service line, and that was to no avail. Then from there, within the same search, it turned up rush cards. So I called them, and that was also once again to no avail. No customer service, just. And I ended up calling other places like Michael's Creativity Center. I left a message for Vince Marciano, whoever else I might have happened to call. I have to check my call logs. But anyway, made a lot of progress and leeway with all of these. I know a little give and take with all these different phone calls I made. And during the process, like I called guests, and during the process of calling guests, I seen that there's a guest summer 2021 internship. And I'm like, oh, cool. So 10 of the forever babies, from Cherish Readiness all the way up to the 31-year-old daughter of mine, they all get that nod for summer internship. And I don't know what else they're seeing, but I seen they have spot locations in Los Angeles, California, and New York. So New York is a hub, as we all know. But I'm trying to get them prepared for something along the lines of Guest Fashion Week 2024. For someone like Court Forever, she's a high placement Academy High School student, and Baby Genius and Lionstein and all of that. Delta Sigma Theta Legacy. She's also a Girl Scout assistant troop leader, working on troop leader certification. She's a buyer. Well, she went from assistant manager, assistant store manager of Claire's, and her goal is to ultimately buy merchandise for Claire's and other avenues. And one part of buying for someone, let's say Guess International, would be buying raw materials, in order to make handbags and shoes and things of that nature. So I think in order to enhance her career and to help her focus her ultimate direction, like the Guest Summer Internship will be someplace that's great for her. Kai Stone is interested in being a fashion merchandiser. Well, not really fashion merchandising, designing as a whole, but breaking it down by merchandising, like learning textiles and all of the different aspects that go along with it, like her as a model herself, like learning her body type, her shape, what makeups look right, and this, that, and the other. All of that translate into a better understanding of styling before she ends up designing for herself. And Art Institute of Pittsburgh is somewhere that me and her decided that we wanted to go about 3 years ago. I think maybe 4, nearly 4. Once she first exited whatever situation she was in before she was scouted by Stanford, downtown Boston, where she was at by herself. I just happened to tell her to go down there to spend some time with herself, getting to know herself, and just enjoying, like, being her, being Kai. And she ended up winning a modeling competition down there. She became the second Ford supermodel ever with that breakthrough success. So from there, she ended up getting hired at Target CVS to work guest advocate and I know if online order fulfillment and things of that nature while she learned the store. And she excelled from there, moving into fashion merchandising. So stocking the clothes and this, that, and the other. In addition to other corporate functions. So even though it seems like she has a POS, point of sale position, she's actually a corporate employee. She works primarily between the Massachusetts Ave South Shore location and corporate headquarters down Fenway. She's also done things like hired her sisters, nieces, through the Texas location where they're excelling. They go when they go. The big ones can go more often. The smaller ones, they can't. Younger ones, they can't. They can do online functions, preparing for computer-based learning and designing, whatever their little hearts decide they feel like doing. But with these days of uncertain time and the current condition of domestic planetary terrorism that has galactical meanings, solar system related ramifications, they can't move about like they would normally be able to as teenagers who recently were hired to work at Target CVS, in addition to Court, as I mentioned, who already works at Claire's. So they can only do what they can do, but since they're here, they're born, they're alive, they're on this planet, they can't do anything but work forward towards, their hopes for their adult lives. So in these days of uncertain times, there's nothing else anybody can do about that. But since the summer internship opportunity presented itself, I believe that they all deserve the opportunity to participate. I would like to work through internship at POS level for Target CVS in the fashion merchandising and cosmetics department and health and hygiene in order to enhance and contribute to the guest experience of their summer internship. If everything works out to the letter as I see the plan unfolding in my mind, 2022 Fashion Week would be the stepping stones for 2024 Fashion Week for Guess International in Paris, France. And between Target CVS and Guess, I think that would be a major accomplishment, seeing as for us who buy clothing, we can buy all the clothing we want to from Target CVS. We might even buy Target handbags, but if Guess is our favorite handbag retailer, we're going to wear all those Target CVS clothes with Guess handbags, with our Guess bags, even Guess shoes if that's the case. So I believe within fashion, that's something that should be pushed. Like there's this statement that they use, quote unquote, perpetrating. They've always used it. Like they who don't know anything about anything other than talking shit about people who know something about a whole hell of a lot. They be saying stuff like, oh, if you wear one designer and that design, like let's say you wearing like a B cap or a Yankees cap, and you wearing your Telos clothes, and you wearing your Adidas sneakers, they will call you a perpetrator because everything on you is not Boston Yankees, right? Or everything on you, New York Yankees or Boston Red Sox, right? You ain't wearing that B cap and that B jersey and them B jeans and them B sneakers, you know what I'm saying? So things of that nature. Like I'm tired of hearing about stuff like that. And with me, like as a model leaf gourmet and other avenues that I've pursued, I get no competes. So because if I buy Pepsi and I buy Coke, if I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I go to Starbucks and Carlos's, if I buy Dr. Teal's and I buy Suave and Dove, you know what I mean? So I buy what I buy, I use what I use. They're all different, so I should be able to use whatever I want and not have to suffer like ramifications or be saying I'm perpetrating or I'm switching up or whatever the case might happen to be, because that's not the case. Like I like what I like. Like, see, my Tennessee whiskeys. Well, one of them is Tennessee whiskey. Well, anyway, like Jack Daniels and Jim Beam, they both got They both got apple whiskeys. So does Crown Royal. Crown Royal is my favorite. One of them is a bourbon whiskey, and I'm like, yeah, next step, give me some bourbon one day. But anyway, that's like beyond the point. That would be a different video for a different time, and I'm running up on, let's say 11 minutes now. It's at 10:14. But yeah, I think within the fashion industry, like things of that nature would actually have like a push and a high level of success. Within my endeavors working at the Goodwill Industries, I'm in charge of research and program development and design for job obtainment, retention, and career acquisitions and higher education and things of that nature. So having these different avenues plugged, they'll help me figure out why there are so many for now hiring signs all over everywhere I've been. However, no matter how many applications I fill out, there is not an on-the-spot interview, or if there is an on-the-spot interview, it's like more like a conversation, but I don't have a telephone, so I don't have a way for you to call me back. So I'll just keep coming, asking. Like I'll use through Indeed. I use my Indeed resume, and I still tailor and update my resumes, and I'm getting like job offers from people and positions that don't fit my ultimate career goal. As my own company owner, Elegant Spoons Event Management, that is as it is. So I would have a particular client base. It would be business to business, a two-way street, business to vendor, vendor to business type of situation, no matter where I'm employed, and being employed at Miss Boston. So these different things would mean like I'm not trying to work at just anywhere, doing just anything. Like the assistant manager of a place like Nabisco, like to be assistant manager of production is weird because it doesn't fall into anything that I've done before. For instance, I have a PhD in retail, a PhD in retail management, and a PhD in management as a whole. That would be POS and not manufacturing. So all of these different things that keep presenting themselves to me as I travel back and forth across like Texas, basically. So from New England, Boston, New Hampshire, Vermont, like through to Colorado Springs and Wyoming, and down to Texas, and like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There's all of these different like ping pong situations that are keep presenting themselves, and something keeps happening. Like I don't have my Massachusetts ID and I can't get it here, so I have to go all the way back to Massachusetts to get it right. However, I have a newborn sick son. I need to be in California so I can help take care of him. But I'm trying to. He's medically incapable of leaving hospital until he's at least 6 months. And if he leaves before 6 months, that's 4 months. And if he leaves at 4 months, he has to stay around there until he's 6 months, until I'm absolutely sure he got the clear from his secondary primary doctor. So we have to go through all of these different situations, and they're forever babies. But their life shouldn't be on hold because of mommy's life. Like they have to still continue living their life and pursuing their dreams as it stands. So this video is now at less than 10 away from 15 minutes. Well, less than 10 seconds away. Well, it was less than 10 seconds away from 14 minutes, and it's only 15 minutes, and I'll have to chop the video up, and I don't feel like doing that right now. So we'll see.